Hello, Surfline Surf Forecaster Chris Bohr with your Orange County Register Marine Forecast. This is brought to you by Buoy Weather. Starting off in the North Pacific, there's been a lot of storm activity throughout the North Pacific lately, sending in some big waves. We've seen a good share of those. We'll see some more this week, not as big as it's been, but we got good weather to go along the ways we do get. Latest satellite photos showing mostly clear skies off our coast. That's thanks to a big high-pressure system spinning off the coast right now. That high is going to be there pretty much all week long. We got another high inland centered over the Great Basin. Together, those two highs set up primarily offshore flow for most of this week, especially in the mornings, especially as we head into the middle of the week, and so that sets up nice weather to go along with those winds. We've got some swell activity heading our way too. Again, not as big as it's been, but there was a storm brewing to the northeast of Hawaii earlier on this week, and that as sends some long period west-northwest swell going to start to show here late Tuesday, looking best of the middle of the week. Fun zone stuff off of that. Also activity generated throughout the North Pacific right now, and you can see it's plenty of it, especially up in northern latitudes, the longer groundswell component of that, and again, mostly up to the north latitudes. Some of that heading our way, and we'll see that later this week. In the tropics, it's closed for the season. Nothing going on there right now. Southern hemisphere pretty much closed for the season too, for primarily zonal flow down under, but we do have a little bit of south-southwest swell heading our way for the middle of this week. That's fun waves off of that. Swell-wise, nothing much, but waves, need a ways high for well-exposed spots. Top breaks doing a bit better than that. That'll be during the middle of the week. Right now, basically zonal flow in the underworld though, and we don't really have any southern hemisphere swell pointed our way. New stuff anyway. Also activity generated throughout the west end of the South Pacific right now, extending on over to the east end, and you can see it's confined to higher latitudes. Longer groundswell component of that, not nearly as much, but there's some. We see a little bit of south-southwest swell heading our way this week for some fun zone stuff. Top spots for Orange County for this week. We have high pressure setting up primarily offshore flow, especially during the middle of the week. And we got some west-northwest waves heading our way. Tuesday sees the surfs fall, but more heading our way for Wednesday. For the outer coastal waters on Tuesday, northwest winds around 10 knots in the morning, slowly picking up as the day goes on. By Wednesday, those winds are out of the northwest about 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15-20 in the afternoon. Wednesday night is seeing the north wind switch over to about 20-25 knots. By Thursday, we look for northeast flow of the outer coastal waters blowing in the 20-25 knot zone, and that should continue right through the end of the work week. For the intercoastal waters, we're looking at primarily variable winds in the morning offshore, turning to moderate northwest for the afternoon on Tuesday. Expect to see more offshore northeast winds on Wednesday and Thursday, and then gradually tapering off more offshore onshore flow pattern for the end of the work week going into the weekend. Next up day here is 5 o'clock on Thursday. We will see you then.